everyone, and welcome to Yoga with Alison. First of all, I want to thank all of you so much for those of you who watched the video and your kind comments and encouragement. It's so much appreciated. So I had a request for a Yin Yoga practice, and so that's what we're going to be doing today. So I will first of all just give a quick little visual, the yin and the yang. So yin yoga represents the black swirl in the yin and the yang. So this is all about the feminine, the soft side, the calm, the cool, the relaxed, that part of ourselves that we really want to tune into to be able to calm down our nervous system at a deeper level, and also to get into those deeper tissues that sometimes it's a little trickier when we're going through the poses a little bit faster to really get deeper in there. So I'm going to get started right away here because the yin does take a little bit, mainly because we hold the poses a little bit longer. So I'm not going to hold them too long. We go for, I'm going to go a little less just because I know for some people this might be new to you and you may be more comfortable with not quite as long of a hold. So I will manage it maybe a little bit for those of you. So we're going to stay down low here for the whole class. So please, again, get really comfortable. Pajamas are perfect for Yin Yoga. It's also a really nice evening practice before you go to bed, or any time of the day where you just want to stop, slow down, and get a little deeper into our poses. So you may want again to have something to sit on. I just have a yoga block here with a blanket on top to make it a little more comfortable, or a couple of blankets. I also brought in an extra blanket just to show you how this can be used if you need a little extra propping as we go. So I'm going to put on my music. And we're just going to set a timer here as well for our poses, just to be sure that we're not holding too long or too short, and we get about that even feeling on each side. So what I'm going to try today, I know one of the challenges for yoga teachers is to get our lefts and rights straight. It can be a little tricky sometimes. So what I'm going to do, I know that with the video it looks like I'm doing the opposite side to you. So what I'm going to try today is I'm going to try to mirror you, and we'll just sort of see how that looks. So when you're going to your right, I'm going to look like I'm going to my right as well, so that we don't have this opposite effect. And we'll kind of play around with that, see how that works, and if that is something that I can continue to do to make it a little easier for you to follow. So that moment of grounding, settling in. And really just take your time, again, knowing here we are, nowhere else to go, nothing else to do for a little bit. Just to find our way, get a feeling for what's going on in our body, our minds, our hearts, how we can just settle our system down and relax. So we're going to get into our first posture here. It's called the butterfly, a nice simple beginning. Soles of the feet together, knees open, and you've got quite a distance here. So instead of being a tight little butterfly there, we've got a little more of a spread out so we're more comfortable. We're going to sit nice and tall to start. And once we come over into the pose, the whole premise of Yin Yoga is that we hold the poses longer, as I said, so we can get a little deeper in here. So if you like a pose and you think, oh, I could have been there a lot longer, it felt so good, remember it, and you can just pull it out, and maybe that one pose is what you do for what you need, and you hold it for a couple of minutes. So again, I'm going a little less today, just so it's more accessible for all of us. We'll take a breath in. And on the exhale, we're just going to come down and let the head hang. And here you can cradle your legs, hold them up a little bit. You can just let that go. And I'm going to prepare to set our timer here. And then we can get that going. So a little bell will be our timer that we've reached our minute. So while we're here, I'm going to guide you a little bit just to help us stay. It's not always easy to just go, oh my gosh, now I'm here, what do I do? So while we're here, we have the opportunity to tune in, to feel, what does this feel like in our body in this moment? To just round this out, to let things open. Again, if you're uncomfortable at any point in this, please feel free to stop and find a more comfortable position for a moment. Again, you can cradle. And just noticing as your breath moves in, your breath moves out. You may want to say, as I instructed in that last video there, breathe in, breathe out. And there we are, we're already at a minute. So just a few more breaths before we start to come out. Yin Yoga, we're moving in, we're holding, and we're moving out. So there's 3 parts here. We're slowly going to roll our way up. You can lightly float your head. We'll take a moment. So generally in our postures, we're in and out in probably maybe 15-20 seconds if we're going through a traditional yoga practice. So the yin, even taking a minute, it gives us a chance to stay. So some of them we may go a little more toward a minute and a half. Let's kind of get a feel for this here. We'll close that up. We'll give it a little squeeze. We'll move that around. And you may want to stretch out your legs, rub through. I like to do this in between just because if there's a tension that starts to come up, we're like, this is getting uncomfortable. We're just telling our body, you know what, you're going to be okay. You can manage this. Give it a little massage. Self-massage is such a great tool in between postures, just to give the body a moment to adjust, to basically take it all in. You may want to rub your arms a little bit, move it around, so whatever feels good here. And now we're just going to cross the ankles in and just give it a quick little tuck. This is a nice overall. So again, we've just got that little tuck in. Letting that relax. And I like to rock. Anything soothing, I'm all for it. Just bring it in. Rock that through. Where's that breath? Nice, relaxed nostril breathing. Our Ujjayi breath, that little sound. And again, if you're new to this, don't worry too much about getting that big sound breath going. Just notice that I'm actually breathing. That's the key. Or usually it's like, I don't know where my breath is. Just trust that it's there. Breathe in, breathe out. Very helpful. And now we're going to go into the half butterfly. So I'm going to mirror you here so it'll look like I'm on your same side. Bringing your right leg in. Now this is where this extra blanket can be helpful. You can prop it up under your knee. And we're just going to bring our left leg out a little bit here as well, not too far. So you can take it a little further if you like. And we're just going to let that foot relax. So I'm just going to flop my foot over. So I don't need the blanket necessarily, so I'm going to take it away, but feel free. And maybe that blanket's right up there. You're going to get comfortable here. Or maybe it's like, oh, the straight leg's a bit tight. Then your blanket can be useful under your knee. So you've got all these choices. Or maybe you just want to hug that blanket and lean into it. So an extra blanket, really a great prop here. You don't have to sit on the lift. It might be a little easier. So again, you can fold up that blanket. We're going to turn toward that left leg. We're going to work our way into a forward bend over this leg. So don't be concerned about how far down you go. We're not forcing. That's the main thing. So moment by moment, listening to your body. Inhale, we'll lift. Exhale, we'll come over. You can hold onto your leg and we'll bow the head. So again, for time's sake here, we're going to go about a minute. Timer going. So this is going to pull quite strong. You're probably going to notice here on your hamstrings. So you may need that extra little support or hang on to it. And then we're trying to just let it go. Let it flop over. So this is passive as far as letting effort go. Sometimes if we're quite passive here and really hanging, it's like, oh, this is too much. It actually hurts. I don't like this. Bring your hands to the floor and just bow your head. And this leg can also be further out if that feels better for you. Or maybe it's just like, I just got to straighten that leg and I'll hang over. Do what you need to do to be as comfortable as possible. Yin Yoga is not necessarily easy yoga because we are going a little deeper. We're working around connective tissue. We've got muscle, tendon, ligament pulling here. Couple more good breaths. Take it just a little bit over our minute so we can get that sense. I'm also doing a minute here so we can get a few more poses in. I don't want to make these videos too long. I don't want to overwhelm you. So again, and you can always just take this, pause it. You have that option. Not in a class, but here, pause it. Hold a little longer. Come out when you're ready. On an inhale, we generally come up on an inhale, down on an exhale. Inhale, we'll roll up. And just a moment to let that integrate. How does that feel now? It doesn't take much. Again, how does it feel to just stop? And we'll pull that straight leg in. We're just going to tuck everything in again for a moment. You may want to rock a little bit. Just let that soothe your hips. Let that go. The nervous system takes time to slow down. We really want to be patient with our bodies and minds here. We're all probably going a mile a minute. So even if we're not physically going a mile a minute, we know we're going a mile a minute in our brains. So our minds are getting probably a little tired. So we're just leaving it all behind for a moment. You can think of our mat, sometimes I think of it as like my life raft. It's like, okay, hang on, here we go. My little refuge, our little mini retreat. And we'll take our legs out again. We'll give another little rub. Any tension, we can help ease that. And now we'll do the other side. So we'll pull our left leg in, same thing. One knee may need support while the other doesn't. We really aren't going to be the same on each side, as we probably well know. So we may need a little extra something somewhere. Maybe this leg would like the support. And again, maybe you just want a hug or a pillow, another perfect prop if you don't have a blanket that's sturdy enough, a pillow or two. We'll lean toward our right side now. We'll take a breath in. Exhale, down we go, moment by moment. You may want to hold under your knees. This is our little beginning bell. One side can feel quite different. I know right now I'm feeling a little more of a pull on my leg here. So just to show you, if I'm really going to listen to my body, I'm going to pull that blanket under. And maybe hang on to it a little bit. Maybe prop myself a little higher. Then here we are. For a moment, what does this feel like? Where are we feeling this? So as I said, Yin Yoga moves deep into connective tissues. It pulls around our fascia, connective tissue under your skin that's basically holding us together here. It pulls on that. I often call it the inner body suit. So it's like you've got this nylon stocking of connective tissue literally surrounding everything right into basically coating your nerves. So this is your glue that binds your body together. It's got that nice pull through. Again, we'll just take it a little bit longer. Remember, you can always pause and go a little longer here. If you're not comfortable hanging your head, maybe your head needs to stay up. If you have lower back issues, be very careful with these poses because they pull on your back. They may not be appropriate for everyone, or maybe you just sit right up. So if it starts to hurt, first and foremost, we need to adjust it. Inhale, we'll start coming up. Little balance at center for a moment, shoulders relaxed, jaw soft. And then we'll pull in that straight leg. Same thing, we'll just give it a little tuck. Take a moment, take a breath. Stretch the legs out again. Now just a quick little twist here. We're going to turn to the right. And we're going to take our right leg across. Bring your left hand to hold your knee. Right fingers back. Inhale, we'll lift. Exhale, we'll twist. So just a soft twist looking over your right shoulder. I haven't done a sideways with this left-right yet, so I'm not sure if this is going to be kind of visually correct, but you get the idea. To our right. We're not going to hold this for very long. Just moving around. A few nice deep breaths. And then we'll come back. We'll give it a little tuck in. And then we're going to go the other side. So you can just stay pointing forward. I've just turned so you can get a little better view. Then we'll take our left leg across. We'll lift and we'll twist. I've just got everything relaxed. Just to squeeze around the spine a little bit here. Get that feeling. A few good breaths. And we'll take it back. And again, you may want to undo that. Rub out your legs a little bit. Do that sort of little massage action. So I'm going to come around now and we're going to do a few cat-cows. Cat-cow isn't traditionally a yin pose, but because it's just such a great posture, sometimes we throw in yin yoga a few what we call yang, or a little more active poses in, just to kind of break it up a little bit. And cat-cow, you can never do enough with cat-cow, how fantastic it is. So on to our hands and knees. Again, fists side to the side, or maybe your blanket comes in for your knees, or maybe even to hang on to for your wrists. So anything to make this more comfortable, please do. Just a few. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Just go for that nice feeling through your spine. Inhale. And one more. Back into center. And our next yin pose, child's pose. Child's pose could be up high, that little bow of your head, or down you go. Just let it go. So whatever, maybe your blanket comes in here. Maybe you want to rest your head on it. Maybe you want to put it back behind you and sit a little bit into it. So again, whatever feels good. And I'll set the timer. We'll take our minute in child's pose. talked about while you're in the poses saying breathe in, breathe out. So with Yin, we're going to take it a little bit more into the spirit of Yin. When you breathe in, if you like, you can say to yourself, peace. When you breathe out, you can say to yourself, release. Peace, release. Peace, release. So we're setting, again, this little intention for our body, for our mind, to find some peace, find some release. So just a few breaths, if you like, with peace and release. If anything feels uncomfortable for you, just skip it. Maybe you have your own words that feel better. Your hands can be holding your head. Some people like to go by the feet. I go a little further out in Yin with my hands because I want to get the spinal stretch. Elbows are dropped and we're relaxed. If we're up high, it might look more like this. And we're just over a minute here. We'll slowly start to come up. And we're going to take our legs straight out again. We'll give them a little bit of a rub through. Sorry, my music has fallen over. There we go. A little rub through. So hopefully we're starting. I know I am already starting to feel like, okay, calming down a little bit. You're slowing it all down. So we're going to come to work a little bit here with the neck and shoulders. So you may want to grab something to sit on again. And for this part, I'm just going to let my legs come right out because I want to show that we don't have to be cross-legged. And you know what? If you think, oh, I can't do this sitting on the floor anymore, sit up on a chair. Bring yourself right up on a chair for this next part. So for this, we're going to take our right arm and we're going to bring it behind our back and just lightly rest it. So I'll just show from behind. So I think I have to do this now. Our right hand, you can take hold of your arm behind if you like. So it's like this, or maybe it's like this, or maybe it's like this, or maybe it's like that. So however you can get it to come back to open the shoulder. If it hurts your shoulder, maybe it's just very lightly by your side. So what we're going to be working with here before we come to lie down, so we've worked our hips, we've worked our legs, we've got a little twist in our spine, a little cat-cow. Now we're going for our shoulders and our neck. This is one of my favorite postures for the neck and shoulders. It's called broken wing. So taking your right arm, bringing it behind your back. Again, you can hang on to it if it's there, or maybe it's just resting, or maybe here, or maybe just on the floor. Again, you know your shoulders. So any leg position, crossed, out to the side in our little bound angle, or butterfly, or maybe your legs are just straight out. Or maybe you're now sitting in a chair. So we're just going to let that shoulder open. So with this, I'm not going to set the timer. I'm just going to take us through this little shoulder routine. Take a breath in. On an exhale, start looking over your left shoulder. Just for a moment, so we're pulling over. You don't want to strain our neck. Just like you're doing a little bit of a shoulder check. Just going to pull across your arm and shoulder. Opening that up, relax your jaw. Back into center with your head. Now slowly lower your chin. Keep your head down, keep relaxing. Just a little more central here. Keep relaxing your neck. Now, take your chin with your head down and move it just a little tiny bit over to your left. You're going to feel it pulling in a different way now, down the back of your neck, side of your neck, your shoulder. We're getting into a trapezius muscle here. There are 3 parts to this muscle. Your neck, top of your shoulder, and a little bit down there between your shoulder blade and your spine. Just keep breathing. The softer our eyes and jaw, the more relaxed we'll feel. up still a little bit to your left, like you're doing the shoulder check again, and maybe we can turn it even a millimeter or two more around. Back into center. And now, if you can think of your right arm, the one that's behind our back now, as your broken wing. So we're going to take this left hand, we're going to bring it to our broken wing, we're going to bring it out, and then we're going to make it actually look like a broken wing. Just this little pathetic little wing hanging here, our little shoulder. Give it a rub. Wiggle your fingers. I know I have a lot of shoulder stuff and neck, so I was like, oh, it's okay. Now, take your right wrist with your left hand and just give it a little pull up. So I'm still holding, I think I've kind of left the camera, but you can give it a little pull. And then we'll bring it back down. We'll roll it. And you might want to just do our little tuck in for a moment. If you're sitting, you can just kind of roll it around through your shoulders if you like. I always like to presume that we don't want to just sit in one position for too long. For many of us, it's like, I just can't do this. Oh, there goes our dog. You might have heard that. Little wiggle again, rubbing our legs. And now, other side. So we can stay straight. I'm going to cross leg now because I feel more comfortable, but you can do whatever you like. Left arm, back behind. Again, I'm just helping it a little bit so I can bring it through. You can hold your other arm, or maybe it's just wherever it goes. Again, you know your arm, you know your shoulder, you know your neck. Again, if you think, I don't want to sit on the floor anymore, come and sit on a chair. Breath in. Exhale, slowly turn your head now to look over your right shoulder. It's going to pull through. Maybe we need a little peace release here, softening. Soft jaw. The softer I find my jaw goes, the more relaxed I feel. And the eyes. You might want to just close your eyes or maybe just a soft gaze toward the floor. Come back, chin down. Oh, just let your shoulders drop. A little bit more relaxed. This is very much a moment by moment practice. How do I feel now? How do I feel now? Can I soften a little more? Can I succumb to this? Can I surrender into this pose? Can I surrender into this moment? It's okay to let go. Even just a little bit is huge. Now we'll move our chin just slightly down here to our right. I always have to personally go, what is my jaw doing? Because my jaw wants to go, it wants to clench. So I always, first and foremost, I go to my jaw. Can my jaw relax? Can my eyes soften that little furrowed brow? Can I smooth that out a little bit? I find the expression on our face in yoga has so much to do with our release. It just sends that message that it's okay. If you have shoulder issues or an injury, please be really careful with this. Maybe it's just resting very lightly behind you. Now, still a little bit down here to the right. Pick your head up and do your little shoulder check to see if you get a little more range of motion maybe now. Back into center. So now our left is our little broken wing. Right hand is going to come help it. I know for myself, if I just pulled it out, I'd be like, I need to help that out. One extreme to the other in these postures, we can have a moment of, oh boy. So listen to that moment. Take your wrist, look at our left wrist now, pull it up. Just let your chest open. This is great for bringing your breath up a little higher. I'm wiggling my fingers down up here a bit. And down we go. And roll your shoulders a little bit. Oh yeah, shake it out, whatever feels good. You may want to interlace and flip it. Give it a good stretch, little wiggle, 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 wiggle the wrist. Maybe a little ha to let that go. Okay, here we are. Pull it in, let it relax. Little stretch out. Okay. And now we're going to come to lie down on the back just very briefly. We're going to do just a brief little knee to chest here, which is a great overall release. And when we've been sitting a while, it can get a little tiresome, I know. So nice to lie down. If you want to take your block and your blanket or a blanket and be a little more comfortable for your head, you can bring it down. Pull in your knees, maybe a little shake. Whatever feels good. I'm just gonna turn my music down a little by my head here. Oh, yeah. You might wanna grab your feet. I know you can't maybe see as well from this side, but little happy baby, Buddha baby. And then we can bring that down. So we're going to take our knee, doesn't matter what one, pull it in. This doesn't have to be under your head, so again, maybe you don't want anything there. Knee to chest. This knee can be bent if you really want to get comfortable, or if you straighten your legs, like, oh, now that hurts and it hurts my back. Just stay bent. I like to roll my ankle a little bit. It's okay, we're not going to hold this very long, just enough to let it release. We'll give it a stretch up. A little move in if you like. Just whatever feels good. You might want to rub it, kick it around, whatever feels good. Okay, and we'll grab that other one. Again, this can be straight or bent. Just a little pull in. So I've been turning around a bit, sideways front, sideways front. You don't have to do that. Of course, I just do it for a little bit of the visual, so I can kind of have you see a little easier, but you can just stay, of course, in one position on your mat. Or you can turn with me if you like. We'll stretch out that leg, give it a nice stretch out. Again, it doesn't matter where it goes here. We always want to go with, our body is our body. You know, it's so different than everybody else's. So how we move, how we feel, I just can't stress enough how personal this all is. We want to feel our best, not anybody else's version of that. It's just for us. We'll pull both knees in again. You might want to rock that a little, shake it. And we'll drop our feet, hands to the belly. You can straighten your legs if you like, arms to the side. A little shavasana moment. Just let it go. If this bothers your back, please bend your knees. You can also have your hands on your belly if that feels nice. Just let it go for a moment. Soft eyes, soft jaw, tongue. So again, you can always pause the video and just go, I'm just gonna stay here a little bit, or just be done with it now, whatever feels good. Peace, release, let it go all the way down. Right to the tips of the toes, the tips of your fingers. And you may want to have a big old stretch out if that feels good. And to come out, I generally recommend rolling out to your side. Usually it's our right side. You can kind of tuck in a little. And then we can use the hands to push up to come to sit. And I'm a big advocate of, I need something to sit on. I just like to sit a little taller, a little easier. But again, it's up to you. So I'm just going to end here. You can close your eyes or you can gaze, whatever feels comfortable. Easy breath. So we've just tuned in. We've spent a little time with our body here today, with our minds, with our slowing down. In our mind's eye, we can see ourselves sitting here and sensing all the people that we've practiced with today, just our little virtual yoga community, just forming a circle around you. So if you have been to classes, maybe you've got a few little faces in your mind, just an image of our whole yoga community, or your family, your friends, your pets. They're sending you love and support. And we know we're all bound by our humanness, by our struggles, our aches, our pains, our discomforts, the moments of comfort and peace and contentment as well, our insights. We're all bound together. And imagine that circle is expanding out to everyone around us. The love, the encouragement, the sense of community. And really allow yourself to just take it in. You are at the center of that circle. And we are that love or that divinity. We carry that sense of hope, of peace, of calm. And we'll bring the hands to Namaste. A little Buddhist loving kindness. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free from suffering, and may you be at peace. Namaste, everyone, and thank you so much. The next video I'm going to be putting up is the Yang. So this was our Yin. The next one will be the Yang. So we're going to go into the white side, into the light. So we'll have a little more action, a little more work with salute to the sun in that one. So thank you again, everyone, for joining me. Love to you all. Bye-bye.